We can go into power rankings now coming out.
Okay, here
Does
we
anything
go.
significantly change?
Yes.
Did Philly go down and then does Paris go? Paris can't go up.
This is the week 6 rankings, right?
Yeah.
So this is for next week where we would place the teams based on the patch. Outlaws, I don't think, changed, despite the fact that they look good.
Oh, that's...
How tragic is this?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, does it?
Like, change?
Outlaws should go up. Like, Outlaws should be a middle of the pack, maybe trying to get into the top half.
If this was a week 5 rankings, if this was, we're looking at this through the 2020 hindsight goggles, Outlaws should be a middle of the pack team, but they don't change because the meta's probably going to be returning to what they were shit at.
I don't want to do these.
Like, how tragic is this though?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Would you say Philly goes down below Shock, like after?
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say so.
And then would you move?
We haven't
the
seen
Shock that hasn't played since like week 1.
Yeah, I know. Like, but then what do you do with Paris and what do you do with like Atlanta?
Do you guys want to take out the week 1 teams out of our power rankings?
Yeah,
let's do that.
Let's do it.
This is dumb.
It's been so long.
Yeah, let's put the Shock, the Titans,
Dallas,
Gladiators, Dallas,
all the way down.
Yep.
Yeah, above those other teams though, because we haven't even seen them at all.
Yeah, they're better than those teams because we've actually seen them. But
Dallas.
Dallas as well. Who else was it? Valiant
and Gladiators.
Valiant Gladiators.
Valiant played.
Gladiators. Yep.
Did Valiant play week 3?
Oh my God.
All right,
This is sort of sad list.
So there we go. That's our list for now.
Okay. Yeah.
Philly, I still believe, is the number 1 team out of this list. Probably.
Wait, let's. Oh no. Well, yeah. Let's order it anyway. Let's put the Gladiators above Dallas and Valiant above Dallas as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So at least we've got
some semblance of structure. But then if you're going to do that, then do it for the Pacific East teams as well.
Put Shanghai number 1.
We haven't seen them at all.
Okay, right. Well, ignore that then.
Yeah, go on then. Let's put Shanghai number 1.
Shanghai number 1, Seoul number 2.
No, Seoul number 1.
No, get out of here, Josh. Get out of here, dude.
We haven't seen them.
Guangzhou.
Well, I even put Hangzhou above.
This is so dumb.
Hangzhou above
Hangzhou,
Guangzhou.
Chengdu.
This is so
Yes,
low quality
I would agree with
content.
that.
Yeah.
For Pacific East,
Yep.
I would
So
agree.
there you go.
Grasping at straws.
Okay.
Look at that. We're so smart. We've done power rankings for teams we know nothing about.
Let's get to the meat of this. Let's get to the meat
You
of
can
this.
really see we're bringing the heavy
I would put
analysis
Paris
here.
at number 1 right now.
Okay, wait there. I think a fairer way of doing this moving forwards is to do the power rankings generally for hero pools. Instead of specifying that it's for a particular
you
meta.
can't do it for the week.
Yeah, because like doing it for a week,
it's not power rankings.
Well, I mean, it is.
It's predictions. It's predictions on a big fucking board.
Yeah.
So who do I think the strongest team will be next week with the meta?
Not next week.
Who's
just
been the strongest up until this point?
Just generally in hero pools, who do you think are the strongest teams?
I would put my top 4 out of those teams, and I think it's quite easy. It's Philly, Paris, New York, Atlanta. I'd probably put Philly number 1, New York number 2. I have the hardest time with Atlanta and Paris. I probably leave them in that order.
I like Atlanta more than Paris.
You're kidding me.
What?
Are you kidding me?
No, long term, I think that makes sense.
Long term, I put Paris at 1.
Oh, okay. What in the fuck are you smoking?
Okay,
are you joking?
These guys got crushed 3-0 by the Outlaws.
Yeah.
Somebody
they came out
remember this
game.
episode where Bren had Paris as his number 1 team going into the future of the league.
Right? They're going to get the new additions later on. They're going to get Sparkling and adds a bit more flexibility to their DPS with their week now, okay?
Late May.
Yes, it's later on, right? But still, we literally said consistency is the name of the game with hero pools. And I cannot think of a more consistent team for hero pools.
You can't think of a more consistent team than a team that went 1-1.
Over the course of a season. Over the course of a season.
Bren is the Boston Uprising of takes, dude. What is this?
Because the Houston Outlaws lucked into metas where they could play their strongest roles.
No, it's not just that they looked. So
they lost the Houston Outlaws, right?
It's not just that they looked into it. They weren't playing their strongest roles. Blase was on the fucking Soldier 76, right? So this argument that Houston only just looked into what everyone was best at, they looked into a style that they were good at, sure, but they identified the meta really early on. They put Blase on Soldier 76 where he's not good, and they still outperformed Paris. Paris didn't pick the right meta.
Let me get a clarification here. So you believe that the Paris Eternal would be representing the Atlantic in the finals?
We haven't seen a lot of the other teams play since week 1 in Atlantic. Have we not?
No, we've seen all of the Atlantic
teams.
You think at the end of the season, the
Paris
best Atlantic
Eternal.
team is the Paris Eternal?
Yes.
The worst part about this segment
Yes.
is that Bren is going to be right.
Yes.
Like,
Yes, I do.
That's-
Yes. Okay.
it's always funny.
I've tried
Philadelphia
to
music.
put up my
Play
justification
it.
for this, but we're talking about hero pause over the course of the entirety of the season.
I respect it.
I think
respect it.
Paris will be the most consistent team because they played. I would say the Houston Outlaws were probably the strongest team that weekend. I think they were the strongest team that weekend, but don't put them at number one. Listen, because this is for next week, and I expect Houston Outlaws to be very poor consistently over the course of the whole season.
Yes.
But Paris, I think, when they play, if they have a bad start in week one and they have a game next week, I expect them to make the necessary adjustments to get a win the next day.
I just cannot see them being better than Philly, New York, or Atlanta long term.
I think it's very close between Philly and Paris. But I think people are overrating New York. I think people are slightly overrating Atlanta. I would put New York at 4 and Atlanta at 3, and I would keep it at here.
I mean, I don't
the top
mind.
4.
I don't mind the Atlanta-New York discussion. I think that's kind of up in the air.
Well, it's
the big contention is Paris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this
Because-
is my opinion. You guys say your piece of
Philly,
the top 4.
Philly lost by one map. It wasn't like they got blown out.
They almost got blown out.
They almost got
Okay,
blown out, but they came
make
back.
this. Let's make this easy for ourselves. Let's compare Philadelphia and Paris member by member.
Here's the
Ben
thing, though.
Best, Sado.
Like Ben,
Fury Poco versus Hanbin. Exi versus Carpe.
but I think the argument is that Paris is going to outperform their pieces, right?
Yes.
Alarm Hip. Funny Astro.
FD
Yeah.
God.
FD
I
God.
mean, credit where credit's due, though. The Paris Eternal players, the one that were on that team last year, have made drastic improvements.
They have.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah.
So,
But on specific roles, like Ben Best, Reinhardt is still, by the look of it, still the only hero that he's great at.
I'm
His
not
Winston
upset
didn't
if
look
you
good.
move Philly to number 1, but for my personal rankings, I would have
I
Paris
have
at
no
number
problem
1.
with Paris at number 2, number 3, number 4. I
Here's-
have an issue with them at number 1.
Here's my hot take.
Okay, let's see how hot it is.
Atlanta and New York, even though they don't look as good, I think will be more consistent than both Fusion and Paris over the course
I can
of the
see
year.
it when-
Fusion are quite a streaky team, and they play down to their opponents.
5-0.
But
Well,
in the
yeah,
course of their Overwatch League history with a lot
Yeah.
of these players, they've been very
Oh,
streaky.
my goodness.
And
What?
this week when they came up against Paris, they were certainly
How was my number
off
team
to a
ended up
very
as
bad
4?
start.
I
could. Here's the thing. I don't think that the Paris Eternal is going to be able to be great in every meta. I think they're very much an our meta kind of team in terms of what we saw from them at the beginning of the year. And they managed to make an adjustment this week, but I don't know if they could do that every single week.
I would want to see.
I do not enjoy seeing Atlanta 1 or 2 because in my mind they looked kind of streaky so far this season.
I would
without a
put-
doubt they have
You
great
thought they were
talent,
streaky?
Yeah.
but there's still question marks. Like, okay, Hawk, you had one good game. Pokeball and main tank compared to
I would
other
go-
main
Well,
tanks.
Pokemon's been all right.
I would put.
Few question marks.
Oh,
All
this
I'm
is gonna
saying.
sound weird.
Is there a team?
I
that-
would
top
say
3,
the
not
team
1
that
or
I
2.
feel about the best out of those 4 long term is New York.
No.
Because I've seen them be
Completely
consistent
disagree.
over multiple metas,
I have
over
not.
multiple years. They've
I have
always been
absolutely
good.
They have.
not.
They've always
They've
been good.
always been good.
They've always been good. I mean, that is not a statement that you can disagree with.
Yes.
They've always been
They've
good.
always been good. But
Right.
when patch changes came out last year, they were always one of the last good teams to adapt. Like when we considered the best of the best last year was the Titans and Shock, and New York were always trying to clamber up into that top 3, and
Yeah.
they never really deserved to be a great team.
They
Right,
were
but
never.
they're the
but-
best of the teams that, like Titans and Shock, we're not ranking right now.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
New York are the
Like
best
I'm
of the
ranking
teams
the
you
teams
compare
I
them
can
to.
rank.
Just
yeah.
put Philadelphia number 1.
People are going to have issues with me disliking New York, but I don't think they've looked.
And
great over
I
the
would put
season.
Paris above Atlanta for now because I just want to see more from Atlanta. Like Atlanta's just trying to. They have so many new pieces from last year and whatnot.
Yeah.
I want to see them
I like it
over
with this.
multiple
I mean,
weeks.
This is a great top 4.
The top 4, I'm already in disagreement with. but
Yeah, we know.
Let's just slam a tier break in and fucking
Yeah,
go
let's
ham.
drag one of these tier. You can just drag the tier break, but I like that system. Okay, so then
Okay.
Boston definitely the bottom.
yes, Boston are at the bottom of
Toronto
that
probably
tier.
a little bit above them.
Yeah, because Toronto don't look good.
I'm gonna say I
across-
think Washington's better than Florida. And I don't know why. and it may be stupid to even say that.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know.
I think just
I'm not
from
too high on
watching
Florida
them,
either. I'm not
I
too high
think
on
they
Florida
may
either.
be better.
Florida's only played one style. This entire year, they've only played one style.
Yeah,
and
on the May.
Yeah, they've never
Yeah.
even tried to diversify.
No.
And to be fair, you could say a little bit about the Atlanta Reign in that sense as well. They've only really played bunker. They haven't shown us anything else.
I thought Aim God was really sick this week.
No,
as well.
no, get Atlanta back up there.
Get Atlanta back up.
Houston, though, is the tough one.
Yeah?
Right? Like,
Is Houston better than Florida?
yes.
I would say so.
Are
Are they better than Washington?
I don't know,
Are they
dude.
better than Washington?
Are you fucking on crack?
So
Like,
the
what?
thing is,
I want Josh to go there. I
when
want
they-
Josh to push them all the way.
so when they play the divey kind of style, they are legitimately one of the best teams that we've seen so far at that divey kind of style. When they play
Muma's
Blase on the
Winston
Doom,
sick,
or
yeah.
when they like Dante on Tracer clapped soon in that game against Paris.
Yes, Dante is
Dante's
very
very
good.
legit. But the problem with Houston is they have to play the comps that they're comfortable with, otherwise they are dog shit.
Yeah.
So how
And
do
they're
you
not
rank a
good
team
at-
like that consistently?
They're not good at Ryan comps.
Yeah, they're not good at Ryan comps. So with Winston banned, like they're just hard counters Houston.
But they're not.
but they
playing
don't
this weekend.
play. But
Yeah,
in
they
the
don't.
future, though, when Winston does get banned, they'll have issues.
I don't know where to put them.
I would
If you
put
were
them
ranking,
below Florida.
if you didn't see any of those teams play, right? I guess just rank their roster from top to bottom.
Oh, their roster is poo-poo tier, though. Like, the thing about the Outlaws is that they perform better than their roster.
Right.
Well, their roster isn't poo-poo tier.
The roster's not
I mean,
poo
but
compared
it-
to the rest of those
but it
teams
has-
in there.
It has fundamental flaws in it, I think. It's not poo-poo tier across the board, but it has fundamental flaws.
Johnny, what about your boys on Toronto?
Are we getting stuck in the weeds here?
Yeah,
I mean-
a little bit.
Yeah.
Why? What's the weeds?
I mean,
I think everything's sorted apart from the Outlaws.
I
isn't
think
it?
it's honestly so hard to tell that it's almost like sort of
Yeah.
pointless.
Well, look,
I think like okay, number 13 or 14.
No, when
with
we
an
have when we have
average
10
weekly
teams we
hero
can't
pool.
rank, we gotta at least rank the bottom 5 of the other 5. Like,
I will
else we're
say,
just ranking the same 5 teams.
I
Every
mean,
week.
just seeing London that high just makes me question my existence. But
Yeah.
at the
Right?
same
Yeah. Like
time,
I don't know why
they
they
have
how would they end
Glister
up
and
there?
Brennon.
Yeah.
I think they should be there.
They probably are the strongest out of those.
I think here's my argument for the Houston Outlaws
Okay.
is that in the one thing of hero pools we saw so far, they immediately discovered the best meta to play and executed on it despite the fact that certain players were uncomfortable and played it very, very well.
What happens if Diva got banned for a week for them? you
Meko's
worried
shown
about-
that he's all right at Sigma. He's been able to play Zarya and Roadhog in the past to a reasonable level.
Yeah.
I don't think that they'd be amazing at like a Ryan Zarya
Would they
or
play
a Rissa.
Spree for that
Arissa
week?
Sigma might actually be okay for them.
Yeah.
Arissa compositions they should be okay at. I think you have to give Outlaws the benefit over the Justice at least, and probably London. Like I think
Yeah.
you have to put Outlaws at the top of the pack for now, like until they continue to shit the bed in the future.
Muma may be the best main tank out of those main tanks on the 5
Oh my god,
teams.
what a hot take that is! I
Hold on,
don't.
why have you put Outlaws above London?
Well, why would they not be? I know they're 1 and 5.
Yeah.
No, 2 and 5 now.
2 and 5.
Yep.
2 and 5. But the
They
Houston
lost
Outlaws are going to
to
benefit
Boston
so much
Uprising.
from hero pools, I think, as long as Winston
And they have
isn't
off
banned.
till week 9. So they have a lot of time to just kind of
I
work on some shit.
am not on board.
Yeah, I'm
with
not on board.
I mean,
I'm
I
not
don't
on
know.
board.
I don't think they're better than one.
I don't
It's
even.
so hard to judge these teams.
Yeah,
I would. Put
I would
them
be happy
below
putting them-
Washington.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I mean, I think Outlaws exist somewhere between there and there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
And,
fair.
and it's unknowable, honestly, because
Yeah.
it all comes down to whether or not they actually continue to adapt to hero pools. Really
and I
well
think
in the
they could be
future.
better than Washington.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if they faced up last week, they would have beaten Washington and London. And
I
Probably.
think they were the best team
Yeah.
that weekend. Houston.
I think
Nah.
Houston would have matched
Yeah.
up poorly against Atlanta.
I think they were the best team that weekend.
I think it was pretty much their most optimal meta, though, and I don't think we'll see Houston that good in a long time.
Well,
I
they're
don't
not
know whether
playing
it was
for
the
a long
optimal
time,
meta.
so-
They, like Blase Doomfist kind of thing, like they were playing before. I think was even better for them.
I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I think there will be a lot of weeks until we see Houston.
Yes.
playing a
That
competition
sounds like
that.
a good argument, except when I say that to myself, my brain replies with, "You can play dive most weeks."
So you're saying I'm dumber than you?
Yes,
I'm saying that the counter argument to that is, a lot of weeks, I think you'll be able to get away with playing dive,
Look,
just
I
because
just-
it works across a variety
there
of different
are
places.
a lot of players I respect on the Houston Outlaws, but not all of them.
Let's,
so I'd rather see Washington and London above.
Let's talk
Sure.
about the experimental card changes that happen.
Hold on, 1 second.
Yeah, what do you
Can we go
want
back
to do?
the
What do
power
you want to
rankings?
do? Oh god.
I just want to move
Another
the
20 minutes, yeah.
second tier. So can you move one of the other tier breaks in between Shock and Boston?
Oh yeah,
because
put 3 tier breaks
put a bunch
between
in.
those.
Because what I've been noticing is these power rankings get posted on social media, and the plebeians just assume that we have rated Shock below Boston.
Put more tier breaks.
more,
in. Put
we
more
need
tier
more.
breaks.
We need more.
Yeah,
like
put them all
of
in.
them. All of them.
No, that's
There we go. That's
There you go.
perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
So there you go.
Kurt's a genius.
We have 3 power rankings in one.
Yep.
Ta-da!
We did it. Right. Yep.
I don't agree with the
we've
Shanghai
changed-
Seoul.
We
power
changed
ranking.
the game. Well, I mean, look,
As
we're
it-
not.
that's
I'm not.
the thing
I'm
that
not
you disagree
arguing
with.
that because who the fuck knows?